Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be looking at computer networking. So what is computer networking? So according to AWS, computer networking refers to interconnected computing devices that can exchange data and share resources with each other. These network devices use a system of rules called communication protocols to transmit information over physical or wireless technologies. Now, let's say we have two systems. So these two systems need to communicate, right? They need to communicate. So this communication, connecting these two devices to communicate, is called networking. So in order for this two systems to communicate, they need what is called IP address. Just like when your girlfriend wants to come to your house, you will need your address to be able to locate your house. So the same way, when these two computers are communicating, they need address of each other to be able to communicate, and that address is called IP address. Now, let's say somebody types www.africacloudpapa.com. The transmission passes through 7 layers developed by the ISO. So the first one is the physical layer. So this physical layer is where you have your network card, which converts the human readable format into bits that the computer understands. Then after that, we have the second one, which is the data link layer. So the data link layer manages the connection between the two computers and ensures that the connections are okay without errors. So the third one is the network layer. So the network layer makes sure that if there are other networks, that they are that they are connected correctly, and also traffic the packets from one destination to another using the IP address. The fourth one is the transport layer. The transport layer ensures that the packets or the data arrives in the correct format. Right? The next one is the session layer. This is where we talk about sessions and where you will have the authentication and all of that. So if you are a developer, you must have done authentication, right? The next one is the presentation layer. So this is responsible for translating data from network data to format expected by an application. So, for example, we have the TLS, we have the SSL. Um, this helps in securing your website. Then the last one is the application layer. So the application layer includes protocol designed for end users. For example, a protocol that transmits data between the web server and what a client. So what you find under this layer 7 is something like the load balancer. So let's look at components of a computer network. So the first one is two or more computers. So one computer cannot make a network. You need at least two computers to create a network. So the second one is cables. So depending on the type of connection, if you want a wired network, then you will need cables to create the network. Then the next one is the a network interface like your network card. We have switches. So switch is basically if you have 3 4 computers, you can use switch. You can use a switch to connect them together. Then we have the router. So a router connects two network together. For example, if you have a computer that is connected with switch, a network that is connected with switch, and another network connected with switch. Then you can connect these two networks using a router. Then we have operating system depending the one you choose. You can choose Windows, Linux, or any other type of operating system. So let's look at types of network. So the first one is the LAN. The LAN is if you have computers in a room that is connected together. That is called the local area network. The next one is the PAN, personal area network, where this is where you have the Bluetooth connection. Then we have the WAN. The wide area network is where you have like your internet connection. Then we have the metropolitan area network. This is where you have something like two buildings that is in the same area. That's where we have the metropolitan area network. So this is what a network looks like. You can see the first network and the second network um, connected with a router. You can see the switch and you can see the router. So on the left we have the first network, on the right we have the second network connected with a router. So let's look at IP address. I told you before about IP address, that a computer needs the IP address of the second computer in order to communicate with it. So let's look at the IP address. So this is the format of an IP address. We'll look into it in details. So it's divided into four segments or four octets. You can see the first octet, second octet, third octet, and the fourth octet. So you can see the decimal and the binary. So the what computer understands is the binary part. So then let's look at the classes of IP address. So we have the first one, which is the class A. It ranges from 1 to 126 with a subnet mask of that. Then we have the class B, uh, which ranges from 121 to 191. Right? So I know you'll be asking, why is there no 127? So 127 is basically for loop back. So if you are a developer, you know that for you to access your local host, you use something like 127.0.0.1, right? So it's meant for loop back. Then we have the class C, ranges from 192 to 223. So this is basically most of IP address on your local system is within this range. It's basically used for local area network. So let's go do some calculation, um, just a little calculation on IP address. Now let's say you are given this IP address. So this means that you can see here 192.168.0.1/24. So this means that the subnet mask, right, will be this 255.255.255.0. So how do I know that this is the subnet mask of this IP address? So you can see this /24 here. So this means that computer understands ones and zeros. So to convert this 255 to 1 and 0, so it will be 1, 2, 3. So this is for this first one. So this is the same as this. Now the second one is this. So the third one So this is the same as this. So you can see here. So if I calculate this now, you see that it's 8 plus 8, which is 16, plus this, which is 24. So now the next one will be now be so this is the same thing as this. So that is the subnet mask of this IP address. So now you don't need to do all this calculation. For me, I always use the IP subnet calculator. So if I go online and I type IP subnet calculator, then I open it up. So you can see here. So you type your IP address here. Then you calculate. So it will give you. You can see the IP address. You can see the network address as the subnet. Then you can see the usable hosts, right? So this is so I selected /30. That's why these two are the valid what valid IP address I can use, because this is what /30. You can see the binary subnet mask. This is the binary subnet mask. You can see that the last two numbers are zero because it is what /30. So let's go back and use /24. So you can see that here. So this is the usable IP address from 0.1 to 0.254. So that's that for IP address. So I hope you understand the IP address, because this is very important, because when we'll be treating VPC, we will need the understanding of this IP address. So the next thing is to I will use some network commands. Right, so let's go and see some network command. So I'll be using my Vagrant to show you these commands. If you don't know what a Vagrant is, you can look at my video on Vagrant, which I will add to a description. So my Vagrant is based on Ubuntu operating system. So the first one I will do is ping, which is the most common one. So if I want to check um, if a site is up and running, I can use this to check. So let's type google.com. So you can see that um, Google is up. So if Google is not up, it will show me timed out. Timed out. So that's what it will show me, but Google is up. So the next one is the IP address. Let me clear this. So the next one is IP address. So if I want to show my IP address, I can use rfconfig. So but you need to install NetStart tool. So the NetStart tool, if you don't have it, it will show you that the command is not found until you install the NetStart tool. So you can see this is my IP address. Now, if this does not work for you, you can use this to show your IP address. Let me clear this first. IP show. So this will also show you your IP address. So that's for the IP address. So the next one is so D. So let's say I type D. Let me clear this first. D google.com. So you can see it's showing me the server, today's date, so this today's date and all of that. So the next one is NTR. Say NTR google.com. So this will show you um, how the connectivity of the site. So you can use it to trace how stable the connection is. So the next one is NetStart. Sorry, I spelled it wrongly. So you can see it shows you all your connections. So that's where we'll end for today. If you like what we do in this channel, kindly subscribe to our channel because more videos are coming. Thank you for being with us and goodbye.